From Henry Cavill passing the mantle on to James Gunn to pave Superman's new legacy, to Batfleck passive-aggressively wishing him well for the future, here's how the biggest DC stars reacted to the James Gunn takeover. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Nah, it's just Henry Cavill getting fired from being the Man of Steel. The man who kicked off the holy grail of superhero movies, the Snyderverse, has officially hung up the cape, courtesy of DC's new boss. And fans are not happy about it. But what did Big Boy Henry think about it? After the new CEO of DC sat on his throne, calling the shots, Henry said that he could not wait to meet him, knowing how he's been the guardian of the Marvel franchise. Perhaps he'll do a bit of justice to the league we all know and love? During an interview with IGN, Cavill admired James's work, calling him a talented chap. Major changes were needed to the mess left by the Justice League. But oh my, when Henry Cavill walked out of the shadows in the post-credits scene of Black Adam, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe really did feel like it changed. Henry had announced his official comeback to the DCEU, confirming an enormously joyful Superman. But just as all good things must come to an end, Henry Cavill's hopes and dreams with a character had their very own doomsday. Our very own Soups gave a heartfelt changing of the guard statement on Instagram, which had us grabbing for tissues. Maybe it was those charming good looks, or that chiseled torso, but Henry Cavill became everyone's favorite Superman, if not a live-action superhero. Apparently, James Gunn and Peter Safran reassessed the DC game plan, what we now know as the Gods and Monsters slate. Cavill said that he would mourn for a bit, but gave his fans hope that Superman is still around. I'm not crying, you're crying. Heading over to Gotham, what did our very own clown princess Harley Quinn have to say about her new boss? Comicbook.com covered Margot Robbie saying that she knows both Safran and Gunn very well. Forget Batman and Robin. Our Queen of Mischief has dubbed them the new dynamic duo. If you don't already know, Peter Safran and Gunn were both producers on The Suicide Squad. You know, the one without Cara Delevingne foreshadowing her manic episode. The movie was very well received, and having worked with them in the past, Margot thinks DC has found the mother box in their new CEOs. But hey, even Henry was pretty ecstatic about the new DC hierarchy. Will we be seeing Harley Quinn get rehashed too? Clearly, he'd won his brainchild, his new ensemble of DC's Rogues Gallery, to stay on the slate. Well, yes and no. James has gunned down rumors that the Suicide Squad cast has immunity in the transition. But wait, I got news for you robbers out there. James Gunn confirmed that he will, for sure, be working with the actress in the future. In July 2021, James told The Hollywood Reporter just how good Margot is as an actress and how she doesn't have ego, which is more than he could say about the list of actors he will never work with. Yep, James is picky. Those who also have passed the James Gunn vibe check are John Cena and Marvel's Dave Bautista. As for Margot, when speaking to Entertainment Tonight, has said that she is ready to put on the jester makeup once again. But what about the King of Atlantis? Jason Momoa was keen on sharing how excited he was about our new DC heads. But there was one particular detail that triggered suspicions from the fandom. Momoa added that there are a lot of cool things on the horizon, and that the new dynamic duo will help make one of his dreams come true. Well, something tells me that horizon won't be the Sea of Atlantis. Instead, Momoa will be donning a completely new role, one more befitting his persona. That's right, we may just be seeing Momoa smoking cigars, wearing leather jackets, and donning the mantle of interstellar mercenary Lobo. He even teased some really good news, looking a little too excited after his meeting with the DC higher-ups. As we get into gear for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Jason has clarified the suspicions while praising his dear friend and new boss, Peter Safran. Total Film magazine brings us all the spice as Momoa expressed how he thinks Aquaman is very much on in the new DCU. He also expressed how he thoroughly enjoyed working with Peter Safran, who is also a producer on the new Aquaman movie, claiming that they're brothers. Of course, he can't play both characters at the same time. Can he? I'm not sure even the Flash's time bending will help make that work. Well, don't worry, because James confirmed that Jason will be playing only one DC character in this continuity. But as the Lost Kingdom tries to save the shambolic mess of DC's recent release, does Shazam have faith in the new DC heads? While the fandom was bombarding hate on the new DC transition, it was our very own lightning guy that came to James and Safran's defense. Zachary Levi took to Instagram urging fans to give them some time to make something truly spectacular. As fans raised questions on whether he thinks he'll still be wearing the white cape in the future, Zach bolted rumor mill down by calling it laughable and asked his fans to be patient. He believes that as far as Shazam is concerned, he thinks the future is pretty bright. But if James Gunn and company decided to call it quits on the superhero, it is what it is. Zachary also said that Shazam! Fury of the Gods would do well at the box office. Yeah, about that. Anyway, we've heard it from the actors, but what does James's ex-boss and now business adversary Kevin Feige have to say from across the pond? EW caught all the exclusives as the Marvel CEO has declared that the future of DC is in safe hands. Apparently, Feige was the first person James had told about his new role. He expressed how there's nothing but love between the heads of the world's biggest superhero franchises and that among the competition in the end. Both companies have the same conviction to keep the experience alive. But before James puts his answer to Marvel's cinematic empire into fruition, he will be wrapping up the Guardians of the Galaxy lore with its recent release. Kevin's also stoked about how Volume 3 will pan out and has also expressed that he'll be first in line when Gunn's DC projects finally hit the big screens. But hey, let's be honest, you seriously thought that I'd end the video without Batfleck in it? I mean, Ben Affleck and the DCEU have some history, if you will. One of the most exciting speculations of James Gunn's DC transition was having Ben Affleck coming back, this time on the director's chair. Well, Ben was quick to dismiss those rumors, saying that even though he knows James would do wonders for the franchise, he doesn't want any part of it. Yikes! That does sound kinda harsh from Affleck. But he also clarified to The Hollywood Reporter that he has nothing against Gunn personally. His vision for the DC is just different. It's a director thing, I assume. But more than that, it was just post-Justice League trauma, drenched in alcoholism that was flashing before his eyes. This sudden news came as a shock, considering Gunn already had fans ecstatic, claiming that he's had a meeting with our ex-caped crusader on directing a DC project. Ben was initially supposed to direct his very own Batman standalone movie, which was supposedly in the works. But as for James Gunn's upcoming Batman movie, Brave and the Bold, we're set to see new faces, even on the director's chair. Sad. For what it's worth, Ben, you'll always be my Batman. So, from being gunned down by Batman, to Batfleck passively aggressing wishing him well for the future, to Henry Cavill passing the mantle on to James Gunn to pave Superman's new legacy, that, folks, was how the biggest DC stars reacted to the James Gunn takeover.